Hloni Lepele, and I am a student here at the seminarian at the Seth Mokitimi Methodist Seminary, training towards the ordination in the order of word and sacrament. And I'm originally from Johannesburg. Coming to seminary before experiencing IM, I did consider myself an ally. It, however, was not from a very informed position. There is a sense in which my allyship was very limited around doing the hard work in terms of understanding language and other things that may be important towards creating safe spaces, both in the church and society at large. Having gone to a boys' school, there was an understanding that manhood is very diverse. You know, it's something that is almost inherent to the school's culture. However, there are things that we grow up saying that one does not realize is the kind of violence that they reinforce. But I think more importantly is it's also possible to be an ally with a saviorist approach to things. And so there is a sense in which a lot of that informed how I responded to issues. But I never, I never as a heterosexual man felt that the LGBTQIA plus conversation has something to offer to my own being, that it can actually offer me tools. That it's not something that you learn, and by virtue of learning it, you are recruited into the community, whatever that means. But there is a sense in which you learn, and even as a heterosexual man, there's a level of liberation it actually offers you as you learn how to express your being better. So I am very much inclined towards liberation theologies, justice, Black liberation, Black theology, African relations and traditions. And one has come to learn that there's actually a lot of intersectionalities in terms of, there's one needs to start asking deeper questions sometimes around the silence of certain schools of theology, liberation theologies at times around queer theologies, queer body experiences. And so for me, I think right now the drive more than anything, particularly in postgrad studies that one would hope to engage in going forward after here, is to engage, to explore some of these intersectionalities, but also to take tools from some of the amazing work that has been done within the queer community that are equally a gift for society at large around issues of liberation, around issues of justice. But I think that at a much more practical level, it is really to learn how to create safe spaces. It is really to journey with people, acknowledging that it can be a very complex thing to understand when you're told that this is how the world is, this is how the world ought to be, especially for people within faith spaces, because faith's point of departure is not always logic. It's something simply believe, and people do not want to disrupt that, and so just helping and journeying with people, being patient with people without compromising justice and making sure that everyone feels safe within the church community. I just think we could do better as the church in Southern Africa. In the very same way we're able to stand out as a church, or rather as a society, and say we are fighting for the Palestinians, we are with the Palestinians, most of which I think also came from the church, because the church has been brave enough to say, in as much as we are part of the Abraham faith, but the story of the genocide in Gaza is a story we do not own, is a story we do not support. I think there is a sense in which we can do that as the church and be much more intentional in influencing society towards standing up for queer rights.